when it came to Avengers Endgame, there was a lot of interesting lines in there where they make fun of time travel. Naturally so, time travel is something that's not achievable as of right now, so any theory or any idea of how it's done is largely hypothesis and speculation. As it turns out, it's also a bunch of nonsense, and that's what the writers of Avengers Endgame wanted to stress when coming up with the concept and talking about it, so let's get into it. So time travel, as of right now, like I've said, it's something we can't achieve. Maybe there is that version of time travel that exists, and if you time travel to the past, you go into an alternative reality. So if you change something, you're building up an alternative timeline. Sure, that could happen, but we wouldn't know then because obviously we're not doing it to our timeline. So that kind of makes sense, I guess. You should all go watch Primer. That movie will blow your mind. I think I watched it like 4 times, twice in a row, and I still don't know what was happening. It's crazy time travel stuff. It's nothing like your basic Back to the Future explanation, or even something like Stargate or Star Trek, right? It's nothing like that. This is way more deeper. So when it came to actually coming up with the ideas and how to present time travel in Avengers Endgame, the writers and the directors actually met with top theoretical physicists and people within the scientific community trying to figure out what is the most logical way. And their takeaway from all of this was that it's a bunch of nonsense. So what they did was sit down and they came up with a version that they thought would be simple enough to tell. Now, the important part of this was having the Ancient One, which originally the Hulk was supposed to fight her, and they were like, this isn't going to make sense. We should have her just kind of take a step back and explain the time travel. So that was part of an element to kind of try to break down time travel and alternate realities and the time stream in the most simple way. And to me, I think they made the right choice here because, again, time travel is nonsense. We don't know how it works. Nobody knows how it works. We don't even know if it's possible. So when it comes down to it, it's a very heavy scientific, sci-fi trope that they use, and you can literally write plot holes if you want, introduce time travel, and you're just like, well, it's time travel, it doesn't matter. So coming down to a simple explanation of it is rather difficult considering everybody's going to go into it with a preconceived notion of how they believe it works. So, I'm glad that they came out and they're just like, look, it is what it is. Time travel's kind of nonsense, but here's our version of it. And I like that. I think time travel, it's actually in a lot of things I watch. It's always different. But hey, my favorite film of all time is all about time travel, so who cares, right? As long as the film is good and everything around it is good, I don't care if time travel doesn't make sense. That's my personal opinion. You guys, let me know your thoughts on it and how do you feel about time travel? Like something like Days of Future Past, for example. None of that made sense to me. None of it. Because they directly contradicted everything they said before about it. So who knows, right?